Our topic's basically symbols and the overlapping of symbols. So first question would be, what role do religious symbols play in a person's spiritual life?
Well, it's very subjective to the experiencer. What symbols are you referencing, or what do you mean by symbols? When I see a cross, I immediately think Christianity. But then one thing I learned when my sister got married, because I was raised Episcopalian, and when the priest would go down the aisle and they would always carry the cross, there would be a blank, just a blank cross, and then when my sister got married, apparently that would be considered the low Episcopal. She was married in high Episcopal, where Christ was actually nailed to the cross. So symbolic, I don't understand the symbology between the difference between low Episcopal and high Episcopal in relation to the doctrinal practices, but that was a symbiological difference. Not symbiotic, but symbologically. Yeah, I'll speak English someday. So I really don't know. I mean, when you see the Star of David, obviously you think of Judaism, and Jewish, and that is the religion, not necessarily the ethnic Jewish people. So again, there's the Byzantine Catholics, which have this little angle through the cross, which I don't understand that symbol either.
How do you think personally people of certain faith should present? How should people of certain faith present his or her religious symbols to people of different faiths?
Very, very, I would say very, very cautiously, because again, when you're dealing with different peoples, and especially in this day and age when we have multiculturals and different languages, it all depends. Some people can be offended. Some people could be insulted. Some people could overwhelmingly love and rejoice it. I hate to say, it's really hard. It's really, again, subjective to the experiencer in the situation. Because I found myself, even to this day, putting my own feet in my own mouth, trying to speak about subjects with people, and not knowing the proper way to approach issues. And it's definitely difficult when you're dealing with people with different languages, because unfortunately I'm only trained in one language, American language. I really wish that I could speak multiple languages to communicate with different people.
What can you say about some symbols overlapping in different religions?
Well, example with the beads we use in Buddhism, the beads we use in the Rosary, obviously there's got to be some kind of connection there somewhere. What that specifically is, I don't really know. I do know with our Buddhism, the beads that we use symbolize the human body. And in the body of it, there's actually 108 beads, which symbol the 108 earthly desires that are contained within the human body. Of the 3 tassels to the left represent the arms and the head, and the 2 at the bottom represent the feet. Now again, in the Rosary, since I'm not raised Catholic, I don't understand the purpose of the beads, and I know that some Catholics, will rub them individually, and even some Buddhist sects, they will rub the beads individually, or however that may be. In our sect, we just put one set on this finger and this finger, and we twist it so it's in the symbology of infinity, because the infinity sign is kind of like an overextended figure 8, and that's actually representative of infinity, of which, all things being infinite, that is the representation of it. So
what symbols are important in your faith? How do they have significance in your life or everyday life?
Well, in this particular sect of Buddhism, there are no real symbols. We chant to a scroll known as a Gohonzon, and it's written in a cross between Sanskrit and Japanese and Chinese. And again, Nichiren inscribed this Gohonzon basically because he knew when he died, since he was immortal, he would not be able to talk to or express to future generations exactly what he is doing. So that is the only real symbol we have, is this Gohonzon, and in it it's written Nam Myoho Renge Kyo down the center, signed Nichiren, and all the other characters of the human experience and life conditions are embodied upon that in a two-dimensional form. It's actually originally inscribed in wood, but the copies we have were in paper. Realistically, it is a three-dimensional object, but to bring that out in 3 dimensions on this particular point, we're not able to do yet, just because, again, Nichiren is the one who actually did that. Basically, he just embodied enlightenment. If you could take that whole energy and just put it there, he went, did it, put it there, and left it for us to chant to. At some point, we will evolve past that, but right now, because we're still in a growing phase throughout all of humanity and in all the world, that point in time has not come yet.